I want to talk to you guys today about self-development, how to really grow, how to really improve yourself and actualize your potential as a human being. See, a lot of people believe that self-development is just sitting on the couch and reading a book, or maybe watching a YouTube video, or listening to a podcast, or maybe it's going to that seminar and just sitting there passively and taking a bunch of notes. And yeah, that is a level of self-development. There's value in that. You're getting new knowledge, new information, new distinctions. But I believe, guys, that the real self-development in life, it doesn't occur until you step outside your comfort zone. And you take action. You implement what you've learned. You step into the unknown. You embrace and face your fears. You go through the adversity, the challenges, and you do something you've never done before. You know, maybe that's starting a business and going for it 100%. Maybe it's committing to a fitness program and going to the gym and pushing yourself beyond failure. Or maybe there's that girl that you want to talk to, but you're nervous, you're shy, you have that anxiety and that fear, but you push yourself to do it anyway. You see, guys, you're going to grow so much more, so much faster than you ever will by taking action and doing it than you ever will just by sitting there reading a book or watching a video. You know, everything that you guys want is outside your comfort zone. All the results, all the growth, your potential, who you really are, it's there waiting for you. But most people, they don't really want to grow. They don't really want to change. They don't really want the results. They only want it if it's easy, if it's comfortable, if it's within that realm of comfort. And they don't have to face their fears. They don't have to go through the stresses and the anxieties and overcome their limitations in life. And that's why most people will never have it. They'll never change. They'll stay the same. They'll never get the results that they really want. I don't care what they do. They could do all the information, all the knowledge, but you know, if they're not willing to do anything with it, then they're not really going to get the results that they're after. You know, guys, when you have that anxiety, the fear, the stress, you know, that feeling that you feel feels uncomfortable, that's the indicator. That's the signal that you're doing something right, that you're growing. You should feel uncomfortable because that means it's outside your comfort zone. That means that you're really growing. But a lot of people, they avoid it. They avoid facing the fears. They avoid the stresses and the anxiety. And again, they're not going to grow unless they do embrace it. So the very thing that's going to allow them to grow and actualize their potential and become the person they want to be and achieve the results they're after, they avoid. It's crazy. You know, guys, I've had many moments in my life, everything that you guys see me do, there's once a time in my life I was terrified to do it. But because you're terrified to do something, or it's uncomfortable, or it's the unknown, or it's scary, doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. You know, I believe that if it brings up that feeling of discomfort, that fear, that stress and anxiety, that I need to do it. I must do that. I must conquer that. And in doing so, I expand my comfort zone. I become more. And when you do that, you can deal with challenges in life in much different ways. Because a lot of people, they don't want to deal with that, and they're not building any muscle, right? They're not building any of the emotional, mental, and spiritual muscle. And so, sure enough, when the adversity does happen in their life and the challenges do occur, which will occur, things will happen that are outside your control. They don't know how to deal with it. It exposes the weakness in their mentality. And they crumble like a house of cards with no foundation. You know, there's a saying that goes that if you're a level 5 person, you got a level 5 problem, that's a big problem. If you're a level 10 person, you got a level 5 problem, that's a small problem. When you become more, you can conquer any adversity, any challenges that show up. And the way you got to build that is you have to build the muscle. You got to intentionally and purposely put yourself in situations that scare you, that make you uncomfortable, that you don't want to do, but you do it anyway. You know, guys, all the self-development stuff you do when you sit, you read the book about the biography or that business person and his failures and adversity and how he overcame it, or you're reading all the mindset books or whatever it is, all of those things, guys, are designed to prepare you for the moments that occur in your life. And to do something with it. You know, guys, there was once a time in my life where I was terrified to put myself in front of the camera, put myself out there on YouTube. I was so shy. I was nervous. I had anxiety about it. I was afraid of judgment. I was afraid of rejection, what people would think of me. I was insecure, had doubts and limiting beliefs. But I knew that that was something that I had to do. A lot of people, oh, well, I'm afraid to do that. I don't want to get rejected or judged, so I'm not going to do that. I decided, I'm going to do it anyways. Because if I can overcome that means I'm going to grow massively in so many ways in my life. My confidence, my self-esteem, my pride. I knew that in order for me to actualize my potential in life, I couldn't, be the kind of human being that's afraid to be in front of a camera. What kind of person, what kind of powerful leader that wants to make an impact in the world, that wants to be successful, is afraid of a camera? What other people think of them. I just knew that didn't go together. So I knew I had to conquer that. I had to do it. And yeah, it was nerve-wracking. It was uncomfortable. But man, once you do it again and again and again and again, you do it thousands of times, then you develop that confidence. And then what was something that was once hard for you and scary, that was outside your comfort zone, is now within my comfort zone. And it's something that's easy for me to do. It's second nature. There's once a time in my life, guys, I was terrified to approach a girl. I was so shy when I was in high school, and I was the quietest kid in school. And I had so much anxiety. My face would turn red. My palms would sweat. I'd shake. And I knew that I had to do it anyways, that I had to face that fear and overcome that anxiety. And again, most people, oh, that's not for me. I'm not going to do it. I'm too afraid to do that. So they don't do it. They don't grow. Sure enough, they don't get any results. So I knew, hey, you know what? If I want to become the person that I'm meant to be, if I want to attract an amazing woman in my life, then I need to have the confidence to be able to meet her and approach her and have a conversation with her. The woman that I want one day, I knew that she would not be attracted to the man that didn't have the confidence to be able to go up and start a conversation with her. So I forced myself to do it, to overcome those fears. And yeah, was it uncomfortable? Of course. Was it scary? Of course. Did I grow? Of course. And something that was once outside my comfort zone is scary and terrifying then became within my comfort zone. And I grew and I improved and I actualized more of who I really am and my potential. Guys, I had the same thing with public speaking. Even to this day, there's times where it makes me uncomfortable. Last year I spoke in front of 2,000 people. And I said, you know what? I'm going to commit to it. I'm just going to say yes, because once I commit, I can't back out. I've got to show up. I've got to prepare. I don't say, oh, that's scary, that's uncomfortable, so I'm not going to do it. I look at that as an opportunity for me to grow, to become more. I can give you guys countless examples in my life. Challenges and failures, adversity, all these sort of things. And guys, I meet people all the time that are going through things, but they are looking at it the wrong way. They're not embracing these things. They're avoiding them. They're avoiding the challenge. They're avoiding the adversity. They're avoiding the failure. They're not going to grow, guys. They're not going to get results as long as you continue to do that. That's not real self-development. Guys, it's not until you finally decide to step up. You decide that you're going to do whatever it takes. You decide that, yeah, you're scared, but you're going to do it anyway. And you do it, often I do it, I smile and I laugh inside because I know that what I'm doing right now is something that very few people are willing to do, and that's what separates me, someone who's going to be successful in life, because the successful people in life are willing to do what the failures won't. They're willing to stand out and do things that most people are terrified of doing, that never think of doing it. I like to do those things on purpose. I remember when I was single, and I went through a journey of developing my confidence, my social skills to be able to meet and attract women in my life and my dating life. And I remember one thing that terrified me was to go to a nightclub by myself, totally sober. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to embrace this as a challenge, because if I can go to a nightclub by myself, totally sober, and still have fun, have a great time, meet people, then when I go to a nightclub with my friends, or I go to a nightclub and I have a few drinks, then I'm just going to be that much better. I'm going to be that much more confident and comfortable. I remember I'm going to go travel by myself, and I'm going to put myself in situations, where it is uncomfortable. I'm staying in a hostel. I don't know anyone. I don't know the area. I remember I did that. I went to Cuba, went to Veradero and Havana in my early 20s by myself, and I had one of the best times. I developed so much independence, so much confidence, so much self-esteem from those experiences in life that have now made me who I am today. So my message for you guys is understand that the real self-development it only begins once you're outside your comfort zone. Do something that challenges you. Step outside your comfort zone. Face your fears. If you're afraid to do public speaking, then do it. If you're afraid to put yourself on the camera, then do it. If you're afraid to talk to that girl, do it. If you're afraid of starting a business, then do it. If you're afraid to invest your money into an investment to yourself, then do it. If you don't know how, then find the way how. Because finding out how and being resourceful, that's one of the best ways to grow as well. I have people that come to me all the time. They want me to, give them money or pay for something for them or give them something for free. If I did that, I would cheat them out of the growth, the opportunity for them to grow, to be resourceful, to find the way, to be outside their comfort zone. So I'm not going to cheat them from that. I want them to go through that. I secretly want them to struggle, because I know that's what's going to allow them to find themselves and find out who they're truly capable of. I see a lot of parents out there, they have their kids and they just want to shelter their kids. They just want to make sure everything's safe and easy and they don't go through any challenges or adversity in life. But as long as you continue to shelter your kids, what's going to happen when they get to their 20s or 30s or 40s, when they actually have to deal with adversity and challenges they've never had before throughout their life, and all of a sudden it's going to destroy them. When I have kids one day, I'm going to help them to go through challenges. I want them to go through challenges. I want them to face adversity. Yeah, it's painful, it's sad, it's hard, but I want them to go through that because that's going to lead to character. It's going to help them grow and find themselves and develop their confidence, their independence, and become more, which will then allow them to be successful in their life or be able to do and achieve whatever they want, or when challenges do occur, it's not going to bother them as much. I'm often reminded the story of Captain Gerald Coffey, who was a POW, prisoner of war during the Vietnam War. He was flying a plane, got shot down. For 7 years, he was locked up as a POW, and he was in a cell, locked into a cell that was a tiny cell. And every day, he got beaten, abused, just horrible circumstances. And what's funny is I listened to an interview of him, and he said, that was actually one of the best times of my life. How can you think that? You went through 7 years of hell. But he reframed it. So you know what? It was the best times of my life because during that time, I got closer to my Creator. I relived every experience of my life. I learned to really appreciate my life, be grateful for everything. I learned how to tap code and communicate amongst the different prisoners between the walls. I got in the best physical shape of my life. My mindset, my mentality, my character, how much I grew from that experience is unlike anything I could imagine. And one thing that he said is that now in his life, most people, they get upset when someone cuts you off in traffic or like the silliest things, right? They get upset about that. He's like, there's nothing that can bother me now. It's like most things that used to bother me or bother most people just bounce right off of me because he's got a rock solid mentality because of that experience. It's the mindset, the psychology that you get from that. So I'm going to wrap this up, guys, but challenge yourself. Reframe what it is that you're going through. Embrace it. Embrace it, guys. Look for the stress, the anxiety. Stress can be your friend. Anxiety can be your friend. When you overcome it, you go through it, then it dissipates. It goes away. You avoid it, it gets stronger. It's best oftentimes to conquer these things right the moment that it comes up, because the more that you hesitate, the worse that it gets. It's like jumping into a pool, right? The best time to jump in, just go for it. The more that you wait, the more that builds, you get more in your head, you rationalize things. That's what happens with the fear. And that's why fear consumes so many people, because they don't conquer it right away when it's small. So go for it, guys. Push yourself, challenge yourself. That's how you're really going to grow. Thanks for watching.